My name is Jennifer Brown. I'm a mother of 4. I live in Springfield. I started receiving services from HAP Housing in 2002. At that time in my life, I was pregnant with my 3rd child and homeless. I became aware of the services from HAP Housing through DTA, welfare.
My name is Luz Rivera. I am the director of the Economic Mobility Program at HAP Housing. I administer the Family Self-Sufficiency Program, as we call FSS. What I like about our Family Self-Sufficiency Program is the ability to be able to help participants who are receiving assistance under the Rental Assistance Program obtain the skills and the tools that they need to accomplish their goals.
After I applied for a voucher with HAP, I received it and I started attending the FSS program. My hopes when I enrolled in the FSS program was to obtain a college degree, a career, and a stable living environment for my children. We made goals that I had to accomplish that had to do with my credit, financial education, housing, buying a house. We took steps so that I can obtain these things.
Many of our participants are single parents and they have children. So through the assessment process, we identify what they have accomplished, what they want to accomplish, and set the goals. And we start referring them, working individually, step by step, working with them, referring them to the proper agencies, doing the individual counseling and coaching, providing financial literacy so that we are able to then meet the goals.
Programs as the FSS program is very important for young mothers who society has labeled them a statistic, who can get out of the system. Some families over generations are stuck in the system, and the funding is good to have somebody there to coach you, to push you.
What gets me up to work every day is knowing that I am causing a ripple effect in my families, that they're being impacted, that they're getting the tools, the services, the coaching, and the support that they need that otherwise they wouldn't receive had they not participated in the program.
When I started the FSS program, I only had a GED, and now that I have 2 college degrees, my children, college is all they talk about, wanting to own their own home, wanting to finish school, wanting to get a master's.
My name is Princess Morales. I'm originally from Worcester, Massachusetts. I now live in Springfield, Mass. I have 2 children, 2 boys, Noah and Amani, 7 and 5 years old. I was 22 years old when I became homeless because I couldn't afford to pay rent. I only had SSI and no help from the welfare. So I became homeless and I was bouncing from people's couches, house to house. Sometimes I have to send Noah to my mom's and I won't be able to sleep at all and just keep going every day.
I am Ashley Brem. I am the Director of Rehousing and Stabilization for HAP Housing. I oversee the motel initiatives and work to rehouse all the families from the motels into permanent and sometimes supportive housing. You know, we're working with families that do have a lot of barriers, and every day we're working to try to overcome those barriers and helping them to, some of them get their GED, some of them, need some type of college or education or training, so we get them involved in that to help them, be able to get a career that they can sustain long term and be able to be successful in their own house.
Me and Noah was placed in shelter where you're in the house with, I believe, 9 different families. Also, I had a worker in the shelter that referred me to HAP and explain the situation of home base. So I decided to go forward with home base, and I found an apartment. In 35 days of me being in the shelter, I left.
From the moment that a family arrives at one of our motels or one of our shelters, we have our family advocates that work with the families. So they're there to help really support the family and to connect them to the resources that they need to be successful while they're in the shelter.
HAP Housing helped me with home base. They supplied first and last for me to move in. My worker is amazing, so I call her whenever I want. If I need help with, say that Noah didn't have some clothes. Oh, I didn't have money to do laundry. Like, I really don't have this. Can I get a gift card to go to Savers or something? She would make sure it happens. She tells me where, refer me to counseling, make sure Noah gets signed into school. They help me a lot.
We set goal set with them. We connect them to resources within the area. If the kids are having struggles at school, we'll help connect them with the right advocates at school to get them the services that they need there. If they need medical services, we help make referrals to that. So we're constantly looking for different connections within the community to help a family live successfully.
HAP Housing also helped me with financial literacy, which is crediting, banking, learning how to budget so you can be able to keep your apartment and not lose it. I already completed my goals. I got permanent housing. I waited 7 years for this.
So you're really helping a family. You're helping a family work through all the situations that they didn't ask for sometimes, and you're helping them to reach the goals that they really want.
HAP Housing has helped me find a new beginning. So Noah's really, really happy. My other child, now that I have permanent housing, he can come home.
My name's Peter Serafino. I'm a real estate development project manager at HAP Housing, and we're here at Butternut Farm in Amherst today.
My name is Vera Dwangmani Cage, and I'm a mom of 3 children. So we were not the first set of families that got in through the lottery system, and that was in 2011 when they first opened up for families to move in. And while we were disappointed that we weren't selected, I had this feeling that I should still come in and say I would be interested if any other families couldn't, make it through the process. And I still had that hope. And so it was just almost a miracle that they called us. And we were so fortunate and so happy.
While there's lots of things that go into making a neighborhood, making a home, making a community, the roof over your head and the sidewalks you walk on, the porch that you have access to, where you park your car in relation to your front door, it's all something that we strive to put together, and that's a real big part of what we're trying to do. Try to make it a real community that people like and want to return to. They're happy when they come home every night, and that means a lot to us.
My interactions with HAP staff have always been on the professional end, on the courtesy end, and if we have any problems that we run into, it's always somebody there that you can talk to.
Giving people a start, giving people a neighborhood, giving people a sense of community, that's really what HAP Housing is all about.
Because it's really about, I think, children growing up in communities where it's safe and it's healthy and that there are good schools. We have a neighbor just down at the bottom of the hill here. While he protested the idea of affordable housing in his community, in his street, on his, right next door to him, he was able to be that neighbor that still understood that it was, kids are kids and they deserve, decent and affordable housing as well, and we're not that bad,
So I'm Faith Williams. I'm Senior Vice President for Property and Asset Management at HAP Housing. We currently have, with the addition of Parsons Village, 664 units of affordable housing under management. Our portfolio is spread all over Western Massachusetts. We've started a very strong push in all of our developments and in our retrofitting of our buildings of including energy efficient features. HAP Housing is applying to become Neighbor Works America Green Designated Organization. We are here at Parsons. This is a 38-unit property that we're developing with Valley CDC. The really great thing about this property is that it is super insulated. We are looking at 12-inch walls, double studded. All of the windows are triple plate glass. The roofs, the construction is intended to accommodate solar panels. So in addition to the energy efficiencies that are built into the property and the Energy Star appliances, we've also been very mindful of the building materials themselves. Another feature of the community that is very intentional is that it is a completely walkable and visitable community. Visitable means that somebody who's in a wheelchair can enter absolutely every unit on the first floor and should be able to use all of the features on the first floor. It's very important for us that the families that live here experience a property that is welcoming for them, that they can call their home. It really is great for a community like East Hampton that is very diverse to continue to have housing options for all people who are in the community. So it's our intent to house people in wonderful, sustainable housing that is affordable to them, where they can set down roots, they can grow a family, and live in a healthy environment as well.
My name is Mary Jackson, and this is my husband, Harry Lee Jackson. We reside in Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm a home health aide, and Harry worked for the city for 23 years. He had to come out on disability for health reasons.
I was a rubbish collector, and I came up in Springfield when I was 19, and I've been here ever since.
And I'm a type of person, I don't ask or do anything unless I really need it, you know? And at the time I did, so I went and I talked with Alex at HAP, and he was very encouraging. And he said, Mary, don't worry, that's what I'm here for. I'm gonna help you.
My name is Alexis Grajales. I am the manager of the homeownership department at HAP Housing. I also do a good portion of the foreclosure prevention work in the homeownership department. We do what's called pre and post. Some things we do for folks that haven't bought a home yet, and some things we do for folks that have already owned a home. On the pre side of things, we help folks with education on how to buy a first home, what the steps are, what you need to know, how you need to prepare yourself. But we serve people like Mary and Harry who are, falling into dire straits, or they're having difficulties with disability or income reduction or job loss, a variety of different types of hardships.
Yet medical bills and things, and out of work. So that's why I said, little money that we had, I had to use it, to live off of.
Mary explained to me what their situation was. I asked them some preliminary questions about, income and what the situation was like, and we talked about that. And then I let her know it was going to be a lot of paperwork and quite a bit of time before we got to, a resolution. But I assured her that, we take care of her. We don't charge for the assistance that we offer. We're funded by a lot of different funders, including donations from the people in our community. And that allows folks like myself to offer this service and to help the Mary and Harrys of the world.
It was just great, because when he called and asked me how I was doing that day, I said, good. He said, well, wait till you hear this. And when he told me that I tremendously lowered the mortgage, what I was paying, guess he thought I was crazy. But I was thanking God and him, And
it was really, really good to serve them and to help them and to hold their hand through the process. And I'm really happy that this worked out for them and they were able to keep their home.
I tell you, it's been pretty good, because at least I have 3 or 4 pennies in my pocket now. Before I didn't have nothing. Thank you, Alex.
I'm Sarah Page, Senior Vice President, Community Building and Engagement at HAP Housing. I work in several neighborhoods that are in need of revitalization, and I work with a team that usually collaborates with our real estate team to bring back buildings that need to be rehabbed or redeveloped and to build a strong sense of community in that neighborhood. But buildings alone don't make a neighborhood healthy and safe.
My name is Megan O'Connor, and I live here in Holyoke and I work in Holyoke, and it's a passion of mine to be involved and to make this city as best as it can be and to encourage other people to do the same thing.
Hi, I'm Giselle Viscarando. I'm a South End resident and a community leader in my area. I went to my first meeting at HAP with actually planning on the Neighbor Fest, and I just started getting involved in the planning.
We work with the neighborhood to have projects that will really involve the city and involve the residents in creating an action plan for the neighborhoods.
I had heard of the resident leadership program from a flyer, and I was instantly drawn to it.
What we do is work with groups of people in committees, in associations, and those groups often need training to become more effective. We found over and over by working with residents on these skills, they really can have effective committees that make a huge difference in their neighborhoods.
Well, I joined the board at King Springfield Beautiful, and I decided that the South End needed a cleanup. And that cleanup actually was very successful. We had residents step out and clean, come in with the officers, mingle. There was officers playing basketball with the youth. It was more than just a cleanup. It was just engaging.
The resident leadership program gave us the tools to create change and to empower ourselves to know that we can do it. It takes a very few people to get together with one common goal to create some powerful change.